Hello and welcome to Make Everything Possible's Propeller Car tutorial. We're going to go over some of the materials we need to make our propeller car. So first up, we're going to need some Scotch tape. We're going to need our blue putty, 5 popsicle sticks, scissors, straw, and our super duper tacky glue. That covers the crafts part. We also need 4 wheels like this, 2 axles, which are these nice metal rods, our motor that's going to spin the propeller, which is right here, our 9-volt battery with 9-volt battery adapter. If you don't have that, that's perfectly fine. We can use our wires to hook up directly to these connectors. And finally, we have our switch. That's going to allow us to turn on and off the car, so this way we don't waste the battery. We are going to need 3 of our popsicle sticks. What we're going to do is take some tape to bind them together to kind of create like a little surfboard. Awesome. Next up, we're going to take a 4th popsicle stick. This one we're going to break in half. It's 2 little pieces. What we're going to do is come to the end, and we're going to make an extension right there. And again, we're going to tape these to our board. So we're creating like a little plank. So this little platform here, we're going to use to set the motor on, and it's going to keep enough distance away from our wheels when it's spinning. Next up is our straw. So our straw we're going to use to encase the axle, right? So this way the wheels can spin freely and attach it to our car. So what I like to do is take our straw. You can cut a nice piece like that. You want to make sure that it's smaller than the axle. So you should still be able to see some of the metallic parts of the axle. Okay, this is about 1.5 to 2 inches. And then you can just use this to measure out the second piece and cut out a second piece. We need 2 of them. And underneath, I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to make a nice strip of glue right there and right there. And this is where we're going to place our 2 straws that we cut. Try to have it centered as possible. Nice. Just like that. And while we let that dry, we can put that to the side and work on our circuits. Our circuit's going to include our motor, our battery, and our switch. Okay, so if you can see, we have these exposed pieces of wire. These are what we're going to use to attach everything together. So on our motor, we're going to take our red wire and attach it to the red wire of the battery connector. Now again, if you don't have this little part here, the red wire is going to attach to this larger piece of your 9-volt. Okay. But since I have it, I'm going to use it. Okay, so I'm going to come right here. twist. I take the two wires and I twist them. And we take some of our Scotch tape here to keep it held together. Scotch tape will also act as an insulator to prevent the circuit from interfering with any of the other wires that we have. Okay, perfect. All right, next up, we'll take the black wire or negative side of the battery. We're going to use our switch. I'm going to connect the red wire of the switch to the black wire of the battery. Okay, so every time we make a new connection, I'm going to wrap it around in tape, encase it in tape, so this way they don't come loose. They stay nice and firm. Our last connection is going to be between the motor and the black wire of the switch. Everything's put together, and before we even attach it to our car, I'm going to grab the little propeller, put it on the motor. All right, that little hole there goes onto the shaft right here. I don't have to push it all the way in. As long as it's on the shaft, is perfect. And now we get to test it out. Okay. So if you flick the switch on and it works, you're all set. If it does not, you have to go back and check these three connections where the tape is at. That means you have a loose connection somewhere. You have a break in the circuit. Perfect. All right, let's put that to the side. Let's come back to our body of the car. So I know we put glue on it, but I also like to put some tape to reinforce it. Perfect. All right, let's start assembling it. I'm going to take one of my wheels, which is already on an axle. I'm going to slip it through one of the straws. See how it comes out on the other side? Perfect. Same thing with the propeller and the motor. Same thing. Got the wheel hole there. We have our axle here. Put them on together. What I like to do is give them a little push together. Like that. And they'll kind of like lock in place. There's a set distance. That's one. So what we're going to do first is grab the battery part of our circuit. I'll take a little bit of silly putty right here. And the blue silly putty, you just need a little dot, roll it up nice and good. And I'm going to put it at the front of the car, which is right here. Okay, so watch. Front of the car, right there. Press down on it. Good. Okay. Next up is the motor. So again, I'm going to take some silly putty. What you want to do is take the silly putty and put it on the side of the motor, because we're going to stick this off of the plank that we had before. Right here. Perfect. We are almost done. Last but not least, we're going to take our very final popsicle stick. And we're going to take 2 balls of the silly putty. Just like that. Okay. So I'm going to take this side and place it on top of the motor. The other side is going to go on top of the battery. Perfect. You can take some time to readjust the motor, the battery. Make sure everything's nice and lined up. Okay. For our final touches, we're just going to use some tape to secure the wires onto the car. Kind of make sure it doesn't fall off. Okay, and there you go. You have your car. Test it out.